Now is the time to review what you've achieved in 2022, review those plans of 2022 and plan for 2023. And I mean right now, I mean this week, before your head starts drifting off into the Christmas celebrations, Christmas do's, and all the things you need to do to organise your hectic social life over the festive period. That will come, that will happen. But what you need to do this week, right now, is review what you wanted to achieve, review those plans, review what you've actually achieved, and get plans in place for 2023. It's not quite wind down in December yet. It's not quite the time to put your feet up yet. Now is the time to take action and review your plans and get those 2023 plans in place so you can kickstart your 2023. And I'll explain more in the podcast. You're listening to the Mortgage Broker Broadcast with me, Craig Skelton, the podcast which helps mortgage brokers at all stages of their mortgage broking career. Hello and welcome to this week's Mortgage Broker Broadcast. Yes, I know there's still a couple of weeks left of 2022. I understand that there is still time to influence your results of 2022. I get that. However, before your head starts drifting away, before you start talking about wind down in December and your head goes into Christmas party mode, social calendar mode, and I get that, that's important. I truly do understand that that is important to recharge your batteries and plan the celebrations. I get all that. But now's the time to review, like this week, to review what you've achieved, review your plans, and get plans in place for 2023. So you've still got one job left to do. And I don't mean shuffle those papers. I don't mean tidy those files that you've been putting off tidying. I don't mean those little meaningless jobs that you've been putting off doing for the rest of the year and been telling yourself, do you know what, I'll do that in December when it's quieter. I've heard it all before. Trust me, I have. You've just got one job left that will make such an impact to the end of the year and an impact to the start of the year. And it's reviewing your successes of 2022 and plan for 2023. That's the one job that you've got left to do. So I want to look at three different things. I want to look at reviewing your 2022 plan. I want to look at 2023 plans. And then I want to talk about the reward side of things. So what I mean by, I'm not going to talk about the importance of business plans and all those things. I've talked about that enough on podcasts, other people's podcasts, plenty of times before. You need a plan. You need a plan that generates action, and you need yourself to hold yourself accountable to that plan. That's given. We're not going to cover that today on here. But what I always feel is important is to review the plan. So it's, the first question you've got to ask yourself is, did you have a plan for 2022? If you didn't, well, there's nothing you can do about that now. So just park that to one side, get that out of your head, and we can come on to the plans for 2023. But if you did put a plan in place, where is it? Have you reviewed it? Is it stuck in that bottom drawer? And if you've done nothing with it, then don't worry about it now. Don't do anything with it at the end of the day. It's just pointless if you've just put a plan in place, filed it away, and then never reviewed it over the past 12 months. Don't even worry about it then. There's just no point even wasting the time reviewing it. I would spend more time getting a robust plan in place for 2023 and really drill down your actions. But now is the time to, if you did have a plan, you've been working your plan, you review your plan, now is the time to have an holistic view of your plan and really drill down to what you've achieved in 2022. So you've still got time to influence the result in 2022. There's still a couple of weeks left, a couple of working weeks left before the end of the year. So you've still got time to influence it. However, it is so important to get that plan out and review it overall and really look at yourself and hold the plan there, which is what you're accountable to. It's your plan at the end of the day. It holds you accountable. Have a look at that plan, review the plan, and look at what the wins are, what didn't go so well, and then we'll come on to the plans for 2023. But it's so important, before you start planning on 2023, You need to review what you've achieved in 2022 and how that looks against the plan. So that's the first thing that you need to do. The second thing then is, as I said, set out your plan for 2023. It is so vital to get a plan in place this week for 2023 because, like I say, you will just drift into the Christmas celebration. So you need to set out what you want to achieve in 2023. If you don't do it now, you won't do it. You'll find another excuse not to do it, and then you won't have the opportunity to create new habits. There won't be any new habits in 2023 because 2023 will just pass you by. So get your plan in place now. That's why it's so important to get your plan in place right now. And you have choices. You've got a choice to make. And it's your choice at the end of the day. You can decide what you want to do. You could do nothing and just drift again next year and have no plans in place, no accountability, no actions, and just meander along and think, I'm okay, I'm reacting, I'm doing what I need to do, and that's the way that I am. That's fine. Well, it's not fine, but if that's your choice, that's your choice. But for me, the people that hold themselves accountable, take responsibility for being self-employed, take responsibilities for their life and their business, have plans, have clear actions, and review those plans. Like I say, you don't want to drift through another year. Get a plan in place. You want to have impact in week one. If you put a plan in place now, ready for the start of the year, you will have impact in week one. You'll come back after the festive period, 2nd of January, 3rd of January, whatever the date that is, and you will come back totally refreshed, totally recharged, and straight into week one and maximising the opportunities and capitalising on getting out of those blocks early. Because if you don't do it now and start to put a plan in place week one, you'll come back, you'll drift through the week, say you're going to do it next week because you've started halfway through the week, and lo and behold, January's gone, you've not got any plans, you've got no actions, you're not trying to create new habits for yourself. So that's why you need to do it now and do it this week. So because you are looking to change habits in 2023, you are looking to grow, and what growth means to you is what growth means to you. How you grow and how you quantify that is totally, it's, at the end of the day, this is your plan. Nobody else's. You're holding yourself accountable for the plan. Nobody else's plan, nobody else's actions, nobody else's goals, targets. This is your plan. As I've said before, run your own race. Worry about what you're doing, not what anybody else is doing. And a plan will help you focus on your actions. So make sure you have a plan in place this week, kickstart, hit head on, whatever words you want to use, have impact in week one of 2023. That's why it's so important to get your plan in place for 2023 this week, if I've said it enough. And the last one is, after you've reviewed 2022, you've got your plan in place for 2023, how much better will you feel when you've got your plans in place for next year? What then for the first quarter actions look like? What does January, February, March look like for you, your plans and your actions, and the whole of 2023? How will you feel later on this week if you've got those plans in place? Well, that's when you can look to reward yourself. You can reward yourself by getting out into the festive period early, taking more time off, taking time off with friends, family, and things like that. You can do that, financially reward yourself. That's fine too. However you want to reward yourself, as I've talked before, is your rewards. And that can be time off, time for yourself, financial rewards. It's totally up to you. But you will feel better. The reward is you will feel so much better about 2023 and your mortgage broker business if you have a plan in place, put a plan in place this week. You will feel so much better. Guarantee you that you will. So just to recap, review 2022 this week. Get that done. Get your plan in place for 2023 this week. Get that done. And then reward yourself for reviewing, reward yourself for planning, and however the reward looks for you is totally up to you. So the takeaway from the podcast for me is Get it done and get it done now. You want to have a flying start into next year. You don't want to drift. So you know what your plan is, you know what actions you've got to take, you will create the right habit from week 1. Thank you for listening to this podcast. Let me know your thoughts, let me know your comments, and I will see you on the next podcast. Thank you for listening to the Mortgage Broker Broadcast, the podcast which helps mortgage brokers at all stages of their mortgage broking career. If you have any questions about this podcast or any topics you want us to discuss, or if you're interested in working with me further, then please get in touch.